cultural divide.
You think that caused problems? I mean,
Oh,
obviously it did,
absolutely.
yeah.
Where I was, you know, we were under the AO of the Korean Army, and we didn't have lots of infiltration. We didn't have a real NVA or Viet Cong military presence. There was some there, but it was very contained. If the war was won, it was won in 2 Corps, where Chief Cuong provided basically all the security. That war was won in 2 Corps. You could go anywhere, drive anywhere, stay out all night. But the Americans that were there, the military advisory groups and so on, there were drugs. You could run all over town. You know, there was prostitution. Our soldiers left a very poor impression of America to the Vietnamese people,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And sir, at the time, did you want an advisor coming in? Did you feel you needed one?
No.
Did he want an advisor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dạ, tôi có muốn có một người cố vấn bên ba không?
À,
Ba có muốn một người cố vấn làm việc với ba không?
just I like because I think with the new advisor we have a new method and new technique. I am eager to learn. But because I read and I see many things from your World War II. I admire you. And the general, I admire the most Israel MacArthur. MacArthur, you know.
Well, what was policing like in Vietnam? Number 4. What was it like when Mr. Clark came in? Number 4.
So many. I'm sorry, I have a
It's
real
okay, sir.
problem. Yeah.
That's fine.
For him.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Mhm.
Vấn đề cảnh sát làm việc đã có những cái và define cái 3 cái công việc đó là cái gì của cảnh sát, công tác của cảnh sát.
Công tác ai yeah. We have a category of work. You have the police, you know, we have 3 category of work. The first category is to search criminal activity and to detect and to destroy. The second is internal activity anti-government. And the third is communist activity. This is my specialty, communist activity. I target communist activity. That's why I receive many calls from the CIA to detect for the intelligence gathering and infiltration operation to destroy the communist activity.
Kind of a offshoot of that, the Tet Offensive in '68, did that change, for neither one of you, the Tet Offensive, did it change aspects of policing from your perspectives, sir?
Well, I wasn't there during Tet,
You weren't? Okay.
but I know.
Or subsequent to that?
Yeah, I know. I think when Tet came along, they shot the communists shot the wad, and that was kind of it. I mean, they made an all-out attempt to take over South Vietnam, and they were terribly unsuccessful. And I think they were unsuccessful because the Vietnamese soldiers and police in particular didn't run and hide. They fought back, and they deterred that aggression. And I think that broke the back of the Viet Cong. And I think that's why in 1970, about the middle of when I was there, the war, as far as I was concerned,
Okay.
was won.
Okay. So with, as he described policing in Vietnam, what did he see was the role that the police did play in society? Question number 7 down at the bottom.
Cho biết cái cảm tưởng của anh về công tác của người cảnh sát ở trong xã hội.
Cảm tưởng của ai của tôi hả?
Của anh cho công tác của cảnh sát ở trong xã hội Việt Nam sao?
Yeah. I think almost 90% activity in the Vietnamese society, the police were involved. Like I said, like the criminal activity, even the black market, black market too, because police have to control economic control, and about the traffic in the road, everything, and again, we have like in incendiary, when burning, the police come, and we get involved. I think 90% the activity of the Vietnamese society. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Bao nhiêu? Trang số 2. Trang 2.
Số 2 hả?
Dạ. Trang 2. Đọc trang nữa. Đọc thêm một cái.
Số mấy? Số 3 hả?
Turn the page.
Yeah. I have a page here. Số 4 hả? Số 7. Yeah.
So, question to either one: do you have recollections of when you first met?
Vividly.
Vividly.
I had never been out of my hometown, hardly. And when I stepped off of the airplane in Saigon, it was that was real cultural shock. And there was no one there to meet me. And I hung around in Saigon for 3 or 4 days. And then we had our assignments where we were going to be sent. And there are some terrible places in Vietnam to be sent. And I was sent to the most beautiful place in all of Vietnam, to Nha Trang, right on the South China Sea, totally pacified.
Cam Ranh Bay?
Just
Yes.
north of Cam Ranh Bay.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful spot. And I know I came into the police department, and I had a nice office right next to his office. And he came in the door to meet me. And he introduced himself, and his first words were, "Do you speak French?"
Yeah.
Because he is fluent in French.
And your answer was?
No. That was a French word.
When
No.
when we arrived to Subic Bay, Philippines, somebody from the Red Cross sent me, a cabin. He told me, this gentleman, he sent cabin everywhere, searching about your family. He asked you to call him, collect call. I called him, and when I get him, and he asked me, Mr. Nguyen, did you have a plan to settle in America? I didn't know. I'm very depressed because I have a wife and 6 young children. I don't speak much English. I very depressed. He said, I will get you out of the hell there.
Chưa bác, bây giờ ông hỏi cái lúc mà ba với ông gặp nhau thì sao? Cái
He's a little ahead of the
cái
script.
lúc mà ba với ông gặp nhau, cái lúc gặp chứ không phải là
Gặp ở đâu?
Không ba, cái em cũng nghe impression của ba khi ba gặp ổng.
Em mới gặp ai cái lúc đầu ra hả?
Em cũng nghe
Lúc đầu dạ. The first time I saw him in my police headquarters in Nha Trang, I observed, I looked him. He was not like other. I have many advisors, many before I saw, but he looked like he speak. You know, he with open heart. He speak with open heart. He was young, not like now. He was young and dynamic, you know. And spontaneity. I have a sympathy. From this day, we have a very close cooperation, very close. He can go to my office anytime he wants.
So you had-
really,
So you had a close relationship. Yes.
Yeah.
Very close.
And
yeah.
yeah.
But the thing of it was, you might go there to be the advisor, but when you're in a completely foreign environment, you're going to need to get more advice than you give, believe me.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was the mistake of many advisors in America, American advisors. They thought they knew more that they could pass on to a Vietnamese culture that was grounded in American culture, and that didn't work. So you first had to learn about the Vietnamese and have an understanding of them before you could truly be a good advisor.
So how did you bridge that gap as coming in to establish that close relationship to, to gain his respect, and how did you go? How long did it take you, and how did you go about doing that?
Well, like this,
Yeah.
yeah.
I stuck by him.
Yeah.
I lived off the Vietnamese economy. I lost 30 pounds in 3 months. And when he would go out into the villages and hamlets, I would go with him. So I began to learn the culture. I learned some of the language, but you begin to see the problems they had and what their procedures were. And then you could really, truly try to give advice. But when you go to a village and you're searching for tunnels, you're searching for arms, that sort of thing, I had absolutely no experience in anything like that. When you set up checkpoints and get people off of buses and interrogate them and look for mines and search under the buses, I had no experience in that. So I could only try to learn his techniques and improve upon those.
Now, were you by yourself during this whole time?
Yes,
You had an interpreter,
I had an interpreter.
and it was just you two and
Yes.
embedded. Okay. No security. Your
No.
security was what he provided.
You needed no security. You absolutely needed no security
And why was that?
because the South Koreans were there, and because the police had virtually cleared
Yeah.
most of that corps
Okay.
from the communists and the Viet Cong.
Okay.
They had done a marvelous job ahead of us.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on number 10 here. What was your impressions of the military versus civilian advisors that he had? Because I got the impression he had quite a few. 3 advisors. Okay.
câu hỏi là thứ 10 bác. Thứ 10 trang
34,
24.
Số mấy?
34, số 10,
Before.
page
Đây
4,
nhé.
item 10.
Page 4.
34 hả?
Bon bon.
Dạ, 34. 13, 14 chứ đâu phải 34.
Số
13, 14 ha.
Số 10 thôi.
Số 10 ha. Tất nhiên. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I think no close cooperation between the military advisor and the civilian advisor, because they don't meet often. Sometimes I have to organize a dinner to get them together. That's why I think it is a lack of cooperation between the military advisor and the civilian advisor. I have 3 advisors. The first friend was my logistic advisor. He provides jeep, truck, weapon, and the second advisor is from CIA. He provides money to funding the operation to gathering the activity communists, and the third is captain from special forces to train my police